So, Arsenal leading Ivan Toney transfer race. Big story coming in from one celebrated journalist that we know when it comes, obviously, breaking stories like this. Welcome to this channel as we cross from London to go to Merseyside, where Liverpool is, to see how Endo is being looked at by the manager of Liverpool. You know, speaking for himself, and then Fabrizio Romano confirming to us how important he is to the squad. And Karls Rummenigge, one of the top people at Bayern Munich, has come out and really said lots of things on Harry Kane that most of you really need to know about this guy. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Ivan Toney is one of the hot cakes of the of the January transfer window, and I told you that Dykes, one of the directors at Brentford, came out and put out a statement that if at all any club comes in with the money that we want, we are willing to sell Ivan Toney. And his team looks like it's struggling, and right now they've just gone ahead to concede 3 goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers, something that is not really in the good sense of mind for what's the name, that Danish Frank, you know, Frank, the manager, in there for you. But I think when you look at how they've gone ahead to miss very many chances this season, looks like Ivan Toney is one of those players they are missing, but they are willing to let him go and maybe looking for another striker. Smash the like button close to 100 times. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a daily. And we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barak, Lau, Fikhum. And let's get straight to the story and see who went ahead, obviously, tell us the story that this guy is obviously one of those that are really hotcakes, and Arsenal is leading the race to sign him. This is Miguel Delaney. Miguel Delaney is really a very good journalist. I think he works for, is it Daily Mail? Let me see. He works for the Independent, that is it. He has told us that Arsenal are leading the chase for Brentford, are leading the race for Brentford's Ivan Toney, right? The player is a major target for many clubs, including Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. However, Toney's preferred team would be Arsenal, as the club he offers the chance of challenging, as the club offers the chance to challenging for the Premier League title this season. And this is what happens to you, especially if at all you become that kind of player that really plays a lot, you know, that plays a lot and really puts in goals. And it happens to you if at all you're a team who is really competing for big titles. When you look at all the teams that are really interested in Ivan Toney, Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea and Arsenal, looks like Arsenal are really the hugest when it comes to them clinching the title. They are so close to clinching the title of the Premier League, and that's why you see to it that the side of Ivan Toney and his entourage is really wanting to join the guy. And they are also in London, you know, that's a big factor. They are also in London, and they really have that benefit, because Ivan Toney wouldn't like to shift a lot, because Brentford is in London, right? Though Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea are also in London, but there are other factors that Arsenal really having that make him admire the side of Arsenal. And Miguel Delaney is going to hate to really point it out in broad daylight that this guy wants to go to Arsenal because of their closeness to clinching the Premier League title. And they've been close to see to it that they are doing the needful as a club. So last season they were close, and this season they are close. If they win tomorrow against West Ham, they'll be on top of the Premier League table. And even if Man City wins their 2 games they have in hand, it will result into them being 3 points behind Arsenal. So this point is valid, but it will depend on how Arsenal are really looking to execute the deal. The deal looks to be like price changing, you know, there is price fluctuation, you know, the prices keep changing for this guy. At first it was 60 million pounds, now it's 80, others are indicating 100 million pounds, because Brentford believe he's like Harry Kane, because he went ahead to score 20 goals last season, and the previous season of 2021-2022 he went ahead to score, I think, 17 goals in the Premier League. So it makes him one of those players that is really huge, but the big factor will be the money. And Tottenham Hotspur, I don't see them spending that huge amount of money on a player like Ivan Toney, I think they can get another striker. You know, when you look at Tottenham Hotspur, they need a striker. Why? During January, Son Heung-min is going to be away, and they'll be needing someone else to come in and do the needful, because the manager, Ange Postecoglou, has always been relied on Richarlison, who is really on fire. I think he's going to hit to score 4 in his previous 3 games. And Son Heung-min to lead the line for the side of Tottenham Hotspur. They need another striker. So Ivan Toney is really expensive for the team of Spurs, because when you look at Spurs, I think no player they bought that surpassed £50 million. So they're really willing to get in players for £50 million, not like Ivan Toney, that he's costing that amount of money. And the more teams really pull out of this deal, I think it will work in the favor of Arsenal. That is it. So Ivan Toney is wanting to go to Arsenal, and Arsenal are leading the rest. But as I told you, the red flag is all about on the money that the team of Brentford is really calling in for to sign Ivan Toney. But he'll be a very good addition to any of those sides. And for Chelsea, I think Chelsea is totally out, because Chelsea is having 3 centre forwards. They're having Nkunku, they're having Nicholas Jackson, they're having Ahmad Broja. 3 of those. Now, tell me, why would they get in a person like that, yet they are really having other positions for them to strengthen? You know, even today, the game is 1-1. They are playing against Crystal Palace, but Nkunku is being played in the central attack midfield position, yet he's supposed to be playing as a centre forward. So there are positions that Chelsea really need to strengthen first before they go in for Ivan Toney. But never say never, depending on what is going to happen. And if I'm Ivan Toney, by the way, I wouldn't have looked at Arsenal, because you face huge competition from Gabriel Jesus. You get? And it's going to be hard for Ivan Toney to get into that team, starting 11 for Arsenal. However much he likes to play for Arsenal when Jesus is there. So, for me, the best team to play for would have been Spurs. That is it, because it's easy to get Richarlison out of the picture. That is it. It's easy to get Richarlison out of the picture. But wait and see what more stories are going to unfold like, because more stories are really coming in through as far as Ivan Toney is concerned. But Arsenal leading the rest, they've given you a reason that they're really champions. Sorry, they are really nearing to clinching the trophy. We go to Liverpool. We've been told by Fabrizio Romano that Liverpool are 100% convinced of Wataru Endo going to be an important player this season. Obviously, he came through. He never had a preseason with Liverpool, and Liverpool are trying to obviously make him grow into their system. That's why you should eat that. In the previous 3 games, we're going to have to play in the Premier League against Man United, against Arsenal, against Burnley yesterday. He's one of those players that went ahead to obviously be given a go, to put in a shift, and he really went ahead to do exactly what he is really called for. And Wataru Endo, 30 years of age, brings in his experience. They brought him on a cheap from Stuttgart, and is obviously trying to be the only CDM that Liverpool are really having. I'm talking about the only competent CDM. One will say, what of McAllister? McAllister just plays into that position because he's a talented guy, but even Jurgen Klopp wouldn't like to see him play in that position. That's why I was going in for Moise Caicedo, you know, and you see to it that they need more players to come in through and really do the needful. And when it comes to Wataru Endo, he's also going to be leaving in January, meaning that Liverpool are going to be so much in the market to get in a player that can obviously take them to where they deserve to be as a side of Liverpool as far as that midfield is concerned. Because when Wataru Endo goes, and you're not having Mohamed Salah, those are 2 players who've gone ahead to lose. Wataru will be going to the Asian Cup, and Salah will be going to the African Cup of Nations in January. So they need to obviously get in a replacement, and you never know, they can get in Paulinho to play into that position and see whether he'll go in through. But after Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to tell us that about Wataru Endo and how Liverpool are really seeing him as a very important player to the squad, the manager of Liverpool himself has gone ahead and obviously put out a statement about what he thinks on Endo. He said, I love his game. I have to say, it's a bit of a shame how he found his feet and now he goes to the Asia Cup. So it's obviously very, very, very challenging for Jurgen Klopp, because if Wataru Endo was to play more games in January, maybe the manager would have gone ahead to make up a decision that I don't need another CDM. Maybe I'll go in for another competent CDM in the summer transfer window. But Wataru Endo leaving, that means Liverpool will be really missing this guy. And I'm gonna really, I just want to check here and see how many games Wataru Endo is gonna miss for Liverpool. Let me see. Asian Cup ends when, you know, so it's called Asia Cup. All I know, it will be ending in February, and it's gonna miss some good games. So I'm really looking for a story here. How many games? I want to say how many games this guy is gonna miss, because when you look at Japan, they're really having very many players, and they might really miss out onto some good number of games. And we really want to see here from the Liverpool Echo and see when does African Cup begin. For African Cup ends on the 11th. Now I want to see Wataru Endo, you know. So matches that Salah and Endo will miss are here. FA Cup 7th January, Arsenal versus Liverpool. Endo will be out on Mohamed Salah. Fulham Carabao Cup semi-final, 10th January, they'll miss that one also. Bournemouth Premier League, January 21st, they'll miss that one. Fulham, that is in the Carabao Cup second semi-final, they'll miss that one too. And then they'll miss a Premier League game against Chelsea on the 31st. But that's not the end. That's not the end, because Liverpool is going to be playing more games. Salah and Egypt are teams that are going to hit to occasionally reach in the final. So if the final is going to be played on the 11th of February, meaning that from the 31st game, there'll be more other two games. Arsenal versus Liverpool and Liverpool versus Burnley. That is it. So they're going to miss like 8 games. So that's really going to be a very huge blow, and they might really run in the market to get in a person to play into that Endo's position. Or maybe the manager will obviously say, I'm waiting for McAllister to obviously come in through and do the job. When McAllister comes in through and obviously takes the mantle and does the needful, then that will be something good for the side of Liverpool. So we leave Endo's story there, and let's get into the story of Karl-Heinz Rummenigge on Harry Kane. Top guy at the Bayern Munich. He says, I was certain from the start that he would be a good fit. What impresses me most about Harry is that he's a team player. He runs every meter. He does not see himself above running, and that also pushes the others. The goals are just part of the quality. Sorry, the goals are part of his quality. We are happy with Harry, and we are convinced from the start that we needed this type of player in order to be well equipped in the position again. Unfortunately, the other players were unable to compensate for the 40 to 50 competitive goals that Robert Lewandowski had guaranteed us. So, obviously, Harry Kane is a proven striker. Goes to the league where it's really open, and you know to it that teams will play an open game and really cause havoc to you. So he's operating at Bayern Munich, and trust me, it's a team that creates very many chances in every game. Bayern can create an average of like 6-7 clear-cut chances in every game. And if I told you Harry Kane, if you've been in the Premier League scoring 30 goals a season, then you might score 60 down there, because right now the guy has already gone ahead to hit 20 goals a season. I'm talking about Mr. Harry Kane, because in the league only, Harry Kane has gone ahead to score 21 goals. You get? In the league only, Harry Kane has 21 goals and 5 assists. In the UEFA Champions League, he's having 4 goals. So those are 25 goals and 8 assists. 32, meaning that he's now 35 goals away from really going to 60 goals a season. And trust me, he's gonna score those. He might even score 40 in the league because they are just halfway of the league and is going to hit to score 21. What makes you think that he cannot score more 20 goals? So if he scores 40 there, Champions League will also do the needful and maybe very many other tournaments. So Rokani David is my name. Your thoughts on Arsenal leading the race for Ivan Toney are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Endo and his absence here for Liverpool during the January and part of February matches because of the Asian Cup? And Karls Rummenigge, one of the top bosses at Bayern Munich, confirming the reason as to why they're excited with Harry Kane's performances in there for you. I'm out. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Bye-bye for now.